In this sport, you don't wait for judges to decide your fate. TenexToken puts you in control. Stake instantly, speculate discreetly, and keep your moves private. TenexToken. Play smart, play discreet. This is Kugan Cassius for IFL TV. It's a very windy Sunday morning here.
It certainly is.
How are you, Frank?
I'm okay, mate. I was quite entertained last night. What a great show that was. Exciting show. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Let's talk about a split draw there for Nathaniel Collins, Frank. What did you make of it?
I thought he won it. I thought he won it by a couple of rounds, but I'm not going to, I'll just say, Laurent, he boxed extremely well. I mean, he'd come to fight. He was a real competitor. And, in the second half of the fight, got into the fight. I thought, early on, Willie done brilliantly. Probably eyed him up sort of 5 rounds. I thought he won the first 5 rounds, lost to 6, and then the others you split. I thought he won it by a couple of rounds, but I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, you've asked me how I felt, what I thought the result was. But it was a bloody good fight, and it was an excellent fight. It'd be a great return match. I mean, the crowd loved it. And it's good to see somebody come over here and, show what they're all about. And he certainly did that. He showed a lot of courage and conviction, and, weren't prepared to didn't just show up for the money. That's for sure.
So, I mean, there will be a second going of that then, Frank?
I don't know. It was an eliminator. It was the final eliminator, wasn't it, for the title? So,
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. They might order it again if we can make it again. I mean, I'd like to see it again. That's for sure. It was a great fight.
There's a gap in the market there for somebody to take control of Scottish boxing, isn't there, Frank? Obviously, with Josh Taylor retired now, who was there last night, but Nathaniel Collins could be that guy, couldn't he?
It certainly could. I mean, Nathaniel done brilliantly. I mean, he's just he's so genuine. He's such a, he'll learn from that as well. He's got a good trainer, really good trainer who was reading that fight well, giving him good advice in the corner, real good advice. And he was letting his heart rule his head sometimes, but that's what made it so exciting. That's what makes it exciting. But he is going to fill that gap. He will fill it. People are out there for him. Atmosphere's there. And you look at the whole card, and you look at the quality of some of the youngsters on there and their performances. They're grabbing them with both hands, these opportunities to be seen around the world on the zone. It's just been brilliant.
Absolutely. All right, Frank. Let me start by what you can tell me about your potential show in December, Frank. When are we going to hear more news about that?
I hope this week. We're working on it. We had a couple of where we thought we'd done deals for a couple of the fighters, but it's not happened. A couple of them have just asked for like some ridiculous money. You'd think they were fighting Usyk or fighting, Tyson or one of the guys. It's just nuts. But we'll get it sorted out. That's our job to do that, and we'll announce it this week. But I want to talk about. I also want to talk about the card. I thought the card was really good. I thought Willie Hutch boxed out of his skin.
Yeah.
I mean, unbelievable performance. He's really focused on his training. He's done everything right, and that showed in the fight against Jeffers. I mean, it was a fabulous performance. Great. He's got great boxing skills. It reminded me of that. When we done the 5v5, he showed what he was all about, and he just lets himself down a little bit. But Willie on his day is an extremely good fighter, and we've got that great card up in Manchester with all those light heavyweights on. So there's some brilliant fights to be made between all these guys now. It's a good series of fights. And I thought Leo Dockett, he done brilliantly again. Went into the other guy's backyard and with Reagan and done and won and really boxed well. Great, tremendous work rate. When you look at that fight in the main event, I mean, these guys, they gave everything. They left everything in the ring. Everything. Just exciting fights. Aston Brown, what's he now, 33, 34 years of age? Got great skills and, natural. It's just a natural boxer. And again, shame what's happened to him outside the ring over the years, but hopefully, well, he has. He's got himself together now, and we will move forward. And I thought, a couple of young fighters on there. I thought young Joe Carrigan making his debut that was quite a statement that he made. I liked him. He's very colourful.
Character, isn't he, Frank?
He
Character.
is, and he got a lot of self belief. I think Drew Limon and I thought Alex Arthur Jr. both done extremely well. You know, they're getting experience and going through the fights. And that young Puerto Rican Aquendo, you know, I think it's his third fight. He's going to be a good fighter. He's definitely going to be a fighter. Marcus Sutherland, great again, a fabulous finish. I think I've mentioned them all, haven't I? But it was just it was an exciting card. It's a really entertaining fight card.
Mm. Yeah, no, that was a very good show last night in Glasgow, and there should be more shows in Glasgow. To be honest with you, the Scots love their
Well,
box.
there will be. There
Yeah,
will be. I mean, you know, with his talent, where else that's where we want to put them on, where their own want to watch them. You know,
yeah.
they got some great fighters up in Scotland. You know, it's been and I used to promote up there very regularly with all those guys. They'll promote them all. Most of them won world titles with me, and I'm looking at that card and thinking, there's a few of them there who are going to go on and do the same thing.
Mm. Yeah, no, it certainly was a very entertaining show last night, Frank. Um, I've been out in Nigeria this week with a lot of your stable were out there. Adelaide, Akoli, Ituama, they were all out there. So yeah, had a chat with Moses. Yeah, spoke to that. I mean, they've all got fights, I suppose, pending towards the end of the year now.
We're all fighting. They'll all be fighting. As I say, we'll be making an announcement hopefully this week. You know, we was quite close to getting a few things down, but I hope by the end of the week we'll be in a position, or by next, this week coming, we'll be in a position to announce what we're doing with the show. Want to get it up and on sale.
I mean, Frank, just from like reports are that the two front runners for Moses are were David Adelaide and Michael Hunter. I mean, is that still accurate? They're the front
I'm
runners.
not even going to go there with at the moment because we're negotiating with people, so I'm not going to
Okay,
go. If
fair enough.
you don't mind. No, not being rude. I'm just it's
No, no, of
pointless.
course. No, it's all right. It's my job to ask. It's your job to
It's your job to ask, and I appreciate that.
Um,
Nosy facade.
Frank, is Chisora going to be on the same card in December? Is that still the case, or not necessarily?
At the moment, we're trying to get the card sorted out, and I hope we're going to put a card on it. Well, I know we're going to put a card on it. Everybody's going to love. You know,
Okay,
when some of the opponents start getting realistic about the money.
okay. All right. Well, we'll leave that one there, and then obviously when I'm sure you make an announcement in due course. Um, Frank, obviously Parker Wardley coming up very soon.
Great fight, yeah, great fight. It's a
Um,
really good quality fight. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, it's funny. People are really buying into it as well. You know, and which they should do. But it's going to be a really interesting fight. I think it's going to be an interesting fight, and both these guys fancy it. And I think their styles will blend, and I think it'll be a really good. As soon as that first bell goes, I think they can get right down on it, and I think they should be letting their shots go.
Frank, do you think it will be the case that the winner will go on then to fight Usyk, or do you think?
Provided you don't vacate the title.
Yeah,
If he doesn't, then he's going to have to because he's been ordered.
yeah.
If he vacates the title, then the winner will be declared champion and will have to make a defence.
Mm. Do you see this as a risky fight for both? I mean, it seems a fight that I didn't.
It's a risky, but the thing is, it's what the prize is.
Mm,
So it's not a risk. I mean, look, in life you have to take risks. You want the prize. You want to get, you want to get that pot of gold. You got to get out there and you got to, you believe in yourself. You go and do it, and that's what these two fellas are doing. They're stepping up because, if Usyk vacates, then one of them's champion.
yeah.
If he don't, at least he's gonna get a shot at the title. He's gonna get well paid for it, and he still could become champion.
Mm. But I suppose a lot will kind of determine itself over the next kind of few months. I mean, we don't expect to see Usyk even out in action.
He
This,
won't be out this year.
no,
Yeah, fine. I said that weeks and weeks ago. He
yeah.
won't. Shit.
But no, that's a great card coming up. That's literally less than 3 weeks away now. So
Yeah,
how's tickets gone for that, Frank?
gone really well. It's a good fight card. It's gone really, really well. Yeah, I'm pleased with it.
There's not been a show at the O2 for quite some time now, is there?
Is it? I don't know. Is there any?
I don't remember
Can't remember you say. Yeah, you're saying now. You're probably right.
I don't remember there being a fight card this year. I mean, at the O2, I'm pretty certain
I'm
that's
not sure. I'm not sure. You're probably listen. You know more than me. That's for sure. I'm an old geezer. My memory's going.
um, Frank, just some other things. What have you made of kind of this Dana White in boxing situation? What's your take on it? With kind of
I don't know until we see what it is. You
yeah,
know, he's. I mean, basically, it seems it's a UFC model, doesn't it? You know, they do their own belts, their own titles, and their own organisation and so forth. That's what it's going to be.
mm. I
So,
mean, how long does something like that kind of take to really set in with if they're going to have their own belts and not going to be kind of recognising the other governing bodies and that? I mean, it's a bit of a long process that I suppose, isn't it?
I don't know. They obviously got their plan in what they're doing and their mind on where they're going with it, and we'll see how it turns out. In the meantime, you know, boxing will continue as it's doing. You know, everybody will be doing their shows, and at the end of the day, the people who will decide are the public.
Mm.
That's the ones who will decide what they want to watch and what they want to see.
Just moving on from there, Frank. What BBC announced their first show coming up on the same night as your.
You know, they got how many? I mean, I thought we got past all that. You know, we're all basically working on the zone, and we stopped getting the clashes, which I thought was good. And then BBC, well, they've done a four-fight deal. They decide they're going to put a show on the same night as we're on, and they
Mm.
got like 48 other days they could put it, 48 other weekends they could do it, but they've done it. You know, look, all I know is the card we put on is the winners. It's the winners.
Yeah, I mean, not that it happened too often, but when there was clashes between yourself and Eddie on some nights over the years, and then when you both come under the same promotion, I suppose we didn't take that into consideration that was going to happen again. But now this is happening with Boxer and BBC's.
Well, you know, if you've got a lot of dates, I'll get it. If you've got 4 dates a year, I don't get it. But look, it is what it is, and we get on with it. And you know, the value of the fights, the best fights, are on. You know, without a doubt, our show, I think, loses that altogether. Loses that show. You know, you got the guy who knocked out Frazier in spectacular style. You know, it's just a better fight all round. I mean, and plus the undercard. I mean, it's a much better show and a more important fight.
Yeah, well, listen, it's not an ideal situation either way. Fans watching shouldn't have to really pick or what I mean, flip.
Well, they're the ones who'll make a choice what they're going to do.
Have you had any conversations with Tyson recently, Frank?
I spoke to him last week. I can't remember what day it was. Last week we spoke. Yeah, it's all good. It's
Anything of
working
interest?
hard. Yeah, it's always interesting talking to him.
If he was a gambling man, Frank, would you think we see him back next year?
I think he will come back. I do think he wants to come back, and I think he will come back. But you know, again, as I keep saying, that'd be his choice when he's ready to do it. He won't fight this year, that's for sure. So it'd be next year.
Mm. Misses him, doesn't it? We've seen
So,
it.
right?
Boxing misses him, doesn't it?
Yeah, listen, he's larger than life, and he's a character. But more important, he can fight. He's been involved with, forget about people's or views on decisions. They're bloody good fights.
Mm.
Now, the fights he's had have been very, very entertaining and good quality fights. He's certainly not left you feeling bored. That's for sure in any of the fights. I mean, they're tremendous fights.
Mm. Yeah, well, listen, just as a fan, just hope we do see him back in the ring sooner rather than later. Um, Frank, I know this is well, it's been a couple of weeks now. And it's not really your fight, but what did you make of all the things that have been said in that Eubank and Benn press conference, Frank?
In what way?
Well, Chris Eubank's accusations
That's just
of matching.
stupid. Stupid. Now, when you book a venue, when a promoter books a venue or a band or anyone books a venue, the promoter is responsible for what they call the backstage area. So in our case, it would be the immediate ringside area, the security I'm talking about, ringside area, and the backstage, which is dressing rooms, etc. So we put our own security there. The security of the rest of the venue is down to the venue, the stewarding, everything. So ambulances, where they park, that's all designated by in consultation with the Boxing Board of Control, medical team, doctors, and the venue, and ourselves, obviously, and that's it. And, Eddie to have a set of keys to a car or get standing for it, it's just the most stupid thing I've heard. And I thought the remarks he made about Robert Smith were disgraceful. I don't know why he does it. But it is what it is.
Speaking to Eddie Hearn a week ago, he said that this situation with Eubank could be sorted out very quickly, and he needs to retract what he said. But do you think we'll see that situation where
Well,
Eubank?
if he says what he's saying he's going to do, from what I understand, he's going to sue him, or if I was Chris, I'd settle quickly as I can and put a retraction in because he's going to run out in a lot of trouble with that.
Hmm. Well, yeah. I mean, that's a couple
But
of
it's
weeks.
not my business. That's
I
their
know.
business.
I don't do your business. Just wanted your
Yeah.
kind of your take on it, Frank. Um, Frank, this Friday, we'll sadly see the funeral of Ricky Hatton. Frank,
Yeah.
it's been like a really kind of surreal couple of weeks, isn't it? Since learning of what we did with Ricky.
It was dreadful news and sad news. I mean, it's such a tragedy for him and his family, the whole thing and all the various stories that have been sort of just are being sort of floating around. It's just awful. And it's funny, I was watching that Darren Barker's, more or less his last interview, I think, wasn't it? And listening
So,
to
yeah.
him. Yeah, and it was he seemed in a good place, and it's must be awful for his kids and his family, just dreadful. But I'll tell you what, one thing's for sure, and there's no doubt how well he was loved and respected by people everywhere. I mean, everywhere. Not one bad word about him. All it is really it's been an outpouring of love for him, and that's really been great. And I think although the funeral is going to be a sad occasion, but I hope it's a celebration also of when he was living, and
Mm.
I hope that the memories that his family, the good memories they had of him, that gives them some comfort for their tragic loss.
Mm. Do you remember the first moment you met Ricky many years ago?
Yeah, it was up in Manchester. I had a show on. He came with Billy Graham and his dad, and I signed him. And somebody asked me what was my, two most significant memories of him. It was that and him winning the world title. It was that because I was talking to him. He was a right cheeky chappy, funny, had a good, little twinkle in his eye. And I knew he was going to be, I mean, I've obviously done well as an amateur, but not a lot of people knew him. And he was only young when he turned professional, but I knew he was going to do the business. I knew he'd get there. And, uh, and that he did. And it was great being on that journey of him, making the matches, working with the team to get him into the position we got him into, which he acknowledges was the best moment of his life when he beat Costa, who at that time was pound for pound #1 in the world.
Yeah.
And Ricky went in as a massive underdog in that fight, and I like to think it was about the timing and the matchmaking at the right time, and obviously his magnificent performance in the ring, delivering and basically breaking his heart,
Mm.
which is what he did. And again, a really good corner man in Johnny Lewis who done the right thing and pulled Cos out.
Frank, obviously of all the fighters that you've kind of promoted, etc., over the years, when you first meet someone like Ricky, could you even imagine that kind of how Ricky's career went and that kind of fan base, which we haven't kind of seen it since Ricky Hatton? Can you tell those sort of things from an early age or not really?
No, not really. I think when his first fight, I think it was with Ness or wherever it was, his first fight, he says himself he sold 3 tickets. You know? But he works on it. One of the problems was because he was such a man of the people, like, after fights, he'd have his, I think he called it his shit shirt day when they all went out on the booze and whatever. But, that was, he was very fan friendly, if you know what I mean. So that weren't such a good thing in some ways, but it was good in other ways because obviously, people, they liked him and he was like one of the blokes. But yeah, he was a good fellow. He was. Me and him never had a crossword ever, ever, never. We had we went our separate ways and so forth. But that was that for another reason, which I don't want to go into. But we was good, and it was nice that he did my podcast with me a couple of years ago, and where he started talking about his suicidal thoughts, and it was quite sad and tragic to hear the place he was in and how he was feeling. It was just quite awful. And see a couple of people. I see a piece in one of the newspapers talking about boxers and that they should be looked after and so forth after their careers are over. You know, the particular guys they were referring to are all multi-millionaires and made a lot of money. As we have out of sport collectively, all of us have made money out of it, but you're not with them 24/7. You promote somebody, you see them maybe at a press conference, might have a couple of conversations. You normally deal through the management. What they're doing in their day-to-day lives are really are the people around them that see that. And I'm not going to go into stories about one of our most famous fighters. I was quite involved in the early days when he was having mental issues and so forth. And it's sad. It's very sad. They got the resources to go to go somewhere and seek therapy or whatever. But the only way that happens is if you want to do it. You can't force anyone to do it. They have to want it. They have to have the desire to want to go and you know what's for want of a better phrase, buy into therapy or someone and telling them what and opening their hearts and souls up and telling them what's trying to find out and establish why they feel like they do. And I know that from my brother, my younger brother, who committed suicide. So it's sad. Anybody should be in such a bad place that they contemplate getting rid of that pain by killing themselves. It's awful.
Yeah, I mean, from the outside, I suppose, like that old cliche saying, you never know what's going on behind closed doors. You really don't, because I don't know. I think Ricky posted a video of him on the bag, on the punch bag a couple of days beforehand. You just never know what's going
But
on.
if you're in a position like that, I'm not talking about Ricky, but in general, if you're in that position, you could be great. You could have a great week, have a
Yeah,
great 2 weeks, have a great month. But if you've got that dark cloud and it's in your mind, it can take over and it can consume you. And if you feel you're in so much pain, the only way you can stop that pain is to kill yourself, like my brother did. It's. Can you imagine? I mean, that's the way that's how you stop feeling how you feel. That's a dreadful, dreadful place to be. And it's been great in some ways that some of the famous, like Tyson did, who had suicidal thoughts, as that's well documented. I'm not telling stories out of school. For them and Ricky did to open up and tell. These guys are fighters. They're tough guys, but they're human beings.
yeah.
And for them to open up and say how they feel, and if they can do it, like this, maybe it's like a message that the ordinary fella or the lady or the woman, whatever it is, you know, they can do the same thing. Go and seek help.
Yeah. Like I said, sad times, but yeah, Ricky will be laid to rest this Friday in Manchester. It's going to be yeah, I think a different.
Emotional, a sad and emotional day. But as I say, I hope we everybody who's there will also celebrate knowing him and you know watching him as a fighter and as a as the bloke he was and celebrate his life.
Okay, Frank. How many years do you think you'll be promoting left for, Frank?
Me,
Yeah, you.
Good. So I don't like doing it. I mean, I'm excited about the show last night. I mean, I don't know what I can say. I've gone through the whole card with you. I mean, I love it, and I like the journey with these, with the guys. I enjoy it. It's.
What would you even do if you wasn't promoting now, Frank? I mean, what would you be
What
doing?
I do?
What
I'll
would you
be
be
I
doing?
was in a frame, wasn't I? Down at Derby and Joan Club.
I can't see
Saga,
you.
I'll be on Saga holidays.
I can't see.
I'll be out with Bob Aaron. We'll be going hang gliding together or on our skateboards.
I can't see you ever out of sport, Frank.
Well, I enjoy it, and as long as you've got your marbles, I think I've got 'em, you're okay. And I've got a really good, we've got a good team at Queensberry. Like George CEO and everybody who works there. I mean, everybody in that place, they're like a family. They're a good bunch of people, and they work very hard, continuously.
Yeah.
It's 24/7 job, 7 days a week. We're on it, and they're a tremendous bunch of people, and we're grateful for the team, and I'm grateful for it because it's not me doing it. I'm the guy who does the press conferences every now and then, and I do some of the matchmaking and picking some of the fighters that I want us to go with, but. It's a brilliant team, and we've added to them, and we've had people working with me for many years, and there's new people there who fitted in very quickly, and we're delighted with the performance of everybody.
Hmm. Well, long may it continue, Mr. Warren.
It'll continue when I'm not here, mate. It'll continue. You know, I look and see what's going on and I look to I look at Francis with what he's doing in boxing. He's a really good manager. Got some good fighters, and he's doing extremely well. And I look at George and what he's doing at Queensberry. I'm a proud father with him. So as far as the boxing is concerned, as I'm proud of all my kids
Yeah,
and the ones who are not involved in boxing. But as far as we're talking about boxing, it's in safe hands with those two.
absolutely. All right, Frank, just before I let you go, Daniel Dubois, any news pending on him soon?
He'll be out in January, February. He has an injury. That's why he's
Okay.
not fighting this year. Otherwise, he'll be fighting in December.
All right, okay. All
He'll
right,
have it in December.
just a little bit of a delay on that then, so but
Yeah, he's had a problem with he's had an injury, so it's better not to rush it.
I'm assuming when he does come back, he will go straight back into a big fight,
He's
Frank.
going into a big fight. Yeah, look, he's 28 years of age. I mean, he's not a baby. He's a former world champion.
Yeah,
He's he lost to Usyk, who's considered to be the best of his generation. That's it. Look at the fighters that he's beaten and
yeah.
beat them in style.
Mad to think he's only 28 still, isn't it?
That's it. He's a baby. I mean, AJ turned pro when he was 24. I think it was 24, wasn't it? Some of these guys don't turn pro till they're in their 20s, some of these heavyweights. No rush.
No rush. All right, Frank. Good day yesterday, Arsenal. We were there.
Yeah, I watched it. I thought they, that sounds terrible. We got 3 points. We're top of the league. I should be over the moon. But I just want to see a bit more exciting football, which they're capable of. But that's being a right miserable bastard, isn't it? Because your team's top of the league and
Clean
you're
sheet,
flying.
3 points.
No, you got 3 points, and I don't know. I'm sounding like some of them boxing fans who come to my show, and then people give me stick trolling me on the thing. I'm gonna start trolling Arsenal. No,
Yeah,
I'm delighted.
you
We're
know,
top of the league. We're top of the league.
top of the league.
Had
There
a
is,
great day yesterday. Arsenal top of the league. Brilliant show last night. Brilliant show, and I really loved it. I thought it was a great day.
okay, Frank. Have you got anything else you'd like to add?
No, we just got, I think we've really done well with the zone since we've been there. We put some really good shows on, and we've got some really good shows coming up, and we've got some big news that we're announcing for next year. Some seriously big news, which is going to be interesting.
Okay. Have you watched Hearn's Netflix documentary?
I've seen it. I haven't watched it all of it. I've seen some of it. I said, now what did I watch? I watched the 5v5. I watched the AJ against
Devoir.
Daniel. That's what I watched.
Yeah.
I'm joking. Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Right, they're going to do one about you. They should do one about you.
Yeah. I'll take them all down the old people's home with me, watching me play whist and dominoes.
All right, Frank, much appreciate your time.
Pleasure.
Yeah, when you've got news pending regarding your December show, we'll have another catch up and then go from there.
We certainly will, my son. Have a good day, what's left of it, and enjoy yourself, and I'll see you when I'm looking at you.
Frank Warren, thank you very much for your time.
Cheers, Coon. Bye, mate.
In this sport, you don't wait for judges to decide your fate. TenexToken puts you in control. Stake instantly, speculate discreetly, and keep your moves private. TenexToken. Play smart, play discreet.